That's better. All right. Hello. 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 And stop it. And welcome to MissNJoy's Tarot. I am MissNJoy. And this is Aubrey over here messing with stuff. This is Cosmic Chat. So no cards, at least for now. I will be doing look here, phone. Okay. All right. And this is Cosmic Chat with MissNJoy. Let me go ahead and check in. Tonight's topic is the moon. Why do I feel like it seems dark? I don't know. I can't. Where are you going with your chair? I don't know why this is this. We're just gonna change the channel. We're just gonna call this. We're just gonna call this Aubrey's and Mima Aubrey's and Mima's Tarot, because everything else is about her. I swear, I tell you everything. That child is something. Okay, so tonight's topic is the moon. I'm gonna give it a few while I get my laptop up and running. And just here. See if we get anybody to check in. Hey Marie, hey. It's Moony night. The next full moon, by the way, I believe is on the 17th. So any day now. I'll be doing a full moon read. I'm trying to get the laptop in a good space. Trying to get it down from up there where it lives. I gotta keep my candy close. There we go. And then I don't want it directly in front of me, but then I have so much crap over here. There we go. There we go. Make sure it's securely plugged in. And it is. I want to start with, hey, Queen of Hearts, how you doing? I want to start with the actual moon before we go into moon myths and moon beliefs. I always thought, I'm gonna start here. I sent this to Marie like last week, I think. I forget when, a little bit ago. And y'all, excuse me today. I have on very little makeup, and my hair is back, and I'm having when you have lupus, which is an autoimmune disease, sometimes you have flare-ups, and when you have a flare-up, sometimes you'll have a skin flare-up, and like I'm having a really bad, so I do pretty good for the most part, but I'm having a really bad skin flare-up. So that's why if like my face looks super fatter, I know I'm fat, y'all, but like here, I'm super swollen right now, all up in here. So I'm cut back. I'm on very tiny. I cleaned my face with some alcohol before I started. I had on very little makeup, and I got my hair back, so I don't have a lot of grease moving around my face. So that's why I'm looking plainy Janie today. So, but I'm here and I'm still cute. So let's go ahead and get 12, 7. Oh, that's my passcode. Shut up. Okay, so see, okay, it shocked me because I always thought that the footage we see when we see like Buzz Aldrin and he's bouncing across the moon and he plants the flag and shit with the little space dudes. I always thought that was actual footage, right? So hold on, let me show you what. Actually, let me go to. Hey, Mama. Let me go. Wait, hold on. Okay, so I always thought
perhaps 50 years from now or more, when people think how proud we all are of what you put in a minute.
okay, so I always thought that. Can they show for morning? Let me silence it because I don't want the audio. Okay. I always thought that this was actual footage. I always thought that we all, or they all, because I wasn't born yet, it was in 1950. Okay, so I was in 1950. No, it was 1950. It was. This is 1969. So what was he talking about? So, okay. So this is what threw me off. All right, because this says this video was published on, it was published 2 years ago. And it's, let me see, the date on this video is this says authentic footage. Hold on. It says mixed with some can of piano music and the famous words by Neil Armstrong himself. And he said, this is one giant step for man, one small step for man, one giant step for man, one small step, one small step for man and one giant step for mankind. Something like that was the quote that he said. And basically, this is it taken off. And see, this says, once again, that this is authentic footage. Now, see, in that one, the little flag appears to be like waving and moving around. Okay, so I always thought that this was real. Okay, and I think most people, a lot of people, really, there were people that were skeptics and say it wasn't real. There were people that were skeptics that weren't skeptics and say it was real. I've heard that debate ongoing for years. However, Let me get the clip. Let me get the damn clip. Let me see. Did I send it to... Did I send it to myself? Okay, hold on. Damn it. Where did it go? Of course, my phone wants to be tripping.
Okay.
That's a legal name, passport,
Okay.
driver's license.
And I am Uncle Coney tonight. Let's talk about this because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly. I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we.
Hold on. So listen to what he says.
Very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon,
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
what?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. So you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
I know.
Well, no, what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said, contact light, engine stop.
It was exciting.
Other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Yeah. So, were you self-conscious about all the? I mean,
So did you hear him?
Is watching and listening to everything that you guys do. Were you self-conscious at all about what am I gonna say?
He said, I remember watching the moon landing.
Is watching and listening to everything.
And he said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. What you saw was an animation. The other
security is going to be a very big factor with respect.
The other one, damn it, I just had that one. Where'd it go? And he says, he goes on to say some crazy shit. He goes on to say some crazy shit.
On the moon. We can visit other people with their habitation. We can keep track. If there's something very important to be developed from the moon, I'm not sure what it is right now. And I sure think we should identify what it is for America to make. Egyptian scribe. And I sure think we should identify what it is for America to make such gross expenditures again for human habitation on the moon. We can help. We can join with. Together, we can explore. 19. Together, we can explore the moon and develop the moon. We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7
okay,
hours.
he said on Mars is the moon. There's one where my phone is acting up and it's not going to let me find it. Let me turn the volume down so I can keep searching. Y'all don't have to hear it. So where he says, I remember going to watch, where Conan O'Brien says, I remember going to watch with my mom and dad, and he said, no, you didn't. But it's Aldrin now. This is the man himself that went. He says, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. What you saw was an animation. So, that would lead the people to say that the moon landing was, the footage was indeed faked.
You suppress it. Yeah. Somehow, you never by thinking of what you need to do to be alert, to handle anything that's clouding your mind. See, I grew up with FDR. Right. The only thing to fear is fear itself. Yeah. For the decade is out of landing a man on the moon again. Right. So we trained my very good friend from West Point, Ed White, to do the first space. Know how to get there. We really didn't. Werner von Braun wanted to join up the stuff, go to the as free as a crew, and so we figured.
So, that was the thing that got me.
By the Apollo 10 astronauts as they circled the moon, month before the first astronauts stepped foot on the lunar surface on July the 21st that same year. The three astronauts on board were Thomas Stafford, John Young, and Hugh Burt were recorded and transmitted to Mission Control in Houston. According to the Discovery show, the trail felt the sounds were so strange that they debated whether or not to tell the chiefs and NASA, for fear they wouldn't be taken seriously and could be dropped in from future space missions.
They're talking
NASA
about...
The sound could not have been alien music. An engineer from the U.S. Space Agency said the noises likely came from interference caused by radios that were close to each other in a lunar module and command module. astronaut L. Warden, who flew on Apollo 15, disputed that explanation, saying, quote, "Logic tells me that..."
So basically, that was a clip talking about what sounded like an alarm or some type of alarm system that went off when they landed on the moon, coming from the other side of the moon. And they tried to blame it on all types of equipment, like you just heard them talk about feedback from equipment and things like that of that nature on the spaceship. And why you got mommy phone? Hi, you want to say hi? And but the astronauts saying that wasn't the case. They see my face. I eat him. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. You're not just gonna come. Don't mess with the laptop. Say hi. Say hi. She waved. It was just up high.
You had to come on and finish eating.
TT said you gonna eat. Don't try to act like you don't hear her.
Come on.
Ew.
Yeah,
Ew.
ew.
TT feeding you?
Girl, you better walk over here.
TT said walk it. You gotta go around. You can't go that way. Go TT. Down,
Come on, Chomp Chomp.
Go ahead. Go to TT. Not you just spit your rice all over me, Mom.
Come on, Mama. You taking your chair?
You need to leave your chair.
Give it here. Mima said leave it. Come on.
I'll take it. I'll find it. She loved that chair. So, that part. There have been many theories about there actually having been some things or alien life forms. Lord, she spit rice everywhere. On the other side of the moon. So this article Taja, your alarm. She done left her whole. I was just. She be looking for her phone and it's in here. So, moon landing theories debunked. The theories are that the conspiracies. Moon landing was faked. Apollo 11 didn't happen. Humans never set foot on the moon. They said the landmark achievement is still being challenged. It says shadows in the moon landing photos prove the images were faked. So the images were not, the image has been taken as proof by conspiracy theorists that the moon landings were fake. Surely if the sun were the only light source, then the shadows would be parallel. Doesn't this prove that the whole scene was mocked up in a studio with multiple light sources creating different shadow patterns? And they say, well, no, this is on the surface of the moon, but we can reproduce this effect anytime we want to on Earth. Professor Oja explains that you have all seen the phenomenon yourself, where because of your perspective, parallel lines appear to be non-parallel if you are trying to reduce onto a two-dimensional plane or a three-dimensional situation. You can make lines do all sorts of weird things, and artists have been using this for centuries. Go outside when the sun is low in the sky, and you see this effect for yourself. Just like the images from Apollo 11, the shadows still will not be parallel. Okay? The next conspiracy is that Apollo astronauts could not have survived Earth's radiation field. Earth is surrounded by a zone of charged particles known as the Van Allen radiation belt. These are regions surrounding the Earth in our magnetic field, which were high energy tapped particles from the sun, where high energy tapped particles from the sun tend to get confined. What it means is if you are going into these regions, there are extremely high radiation concerns. If that's the case, how did Apollo astronauts travel through the Van Allen radiation belt out of Earth's orbit unharmed? Surely the amount of radiation would have killed them. Doesn't this prove that it was a hoax? That theory, of course, is debunked in the fact that we're not the only ones that have been through that radioactive belt. Other countries have space stations up there. The Russian space station was up there for a long, long time. And so that theory is out the window. I don't even have to read all that. Number 3 is, why are there no stars in the pictures of NASA's moon landing? Now, that was one for me. Because if the image was really taken on the moon, shouldn't the sky still be filled with stars? After all, there is no atmosphere to distort the image, no clouds to interrupt that glorious view. Conspiracy theories argue that the lack of stars in the Apollo 13 mission photographs prove that the event was staged. NASA could not have faked the full wonder of the lunar sky, so they simply choose not to include any stars at all. Here's another solution, that both the astronauts and the lunar landscape itself are brightly lit by the sun. The sky may look black, but remember, it's still in fact daytime on the moon. If you're going to take a photo of a brightly lit scene, your camera shutter needs to be fast and your aperture incredibly small. In that situation, faint objects like stars simply aren't going to show. Conspiracy theory number 4. The Apollo 11 U.S. flag is waving in the wind, but there's no wind on the moon. One of the crowning moments in the terms of U.S. national pride was seeing the stars and stripes on the surface of the moon. But saluting the proudly waving American flag on the moon remains one of the iconic images of the Apollo 11 mission, a declaration of U.S. supremacy over space race rivals, the Soviet Union. But if there's no atmosphere on the moon, there is no wind. So why is the flag waving? This is proof that conspiracy theorists have been seeking. Look again at the image, and particularly along the top edge of the flag, you will find the answer. A telescopic pole has been extended along the top in order to make the flag fly high. Let me look. Yeah, it does have a pole in it. It's got if you look at the picture, it's like this. And the flag actually is on, it looks like what would be like a curtain rod, similar thing. It's on the pole here and it's on the pole here. So you just gonna pick up my pen and start writing? You are something. She said, huh? Wait. So, there is that. There is that. I see. Okay. Write on the pad and not on my table, please. At least write on the paper. Okay? Wasting my daggone notebook. Yeah. Because it's been set up like this. Pick up my pen. Yeah, thank you. No, I didn't say I was picking you up. CT finished with you. Okay. So, but then again, and so this is saying 1969, which confuses me because if they went in 1969, there was indeed video capability in order to make the video. So what was Buzz talking about, or was he just getting old and senile? Because he said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't see that. So what the hell was it? Because I know in 1969 we had the capability to video that shit on the moon. So what? And then one of the other questions is, why haven't we been back? Now, I also heard theories that when they got there, that, like I said, there was some type of alarm that went off. And then not only did an alarm go off, like in order to signal the fact that, hey, there's somebody up here, that they actually made contact with alien life and had to leave and left. That's what, don't write on yourself. Write on the paper. Only on the paper, not on Aubrey. Not on my table. Paper. On the paper. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories with that and about that. There's also the theory that when they landed on the moon, that it rang. You heard what I said. Like a gong, like rang, like, but in a deeper, but like if you know what a gong sounds like, and vibrated, like, for instance, like it was some form of metal. And the theory to that was, and they said it did it for, come on, phone. And of course, my phone wants to act stupid. I don't know. I can't touch my phone. It's not responding to touch like it should. Don't touch it. That's gonna make it worse.
Scientists said, let's separate the lunar module and have it impact the moon just at the right distance away from this seismometer that they put there. And we'll measure how it vibrates, and that'll tell us what's going on in the center of the moon.
Traveling at almost 3,800 miles per hour,
The used vehicle slams into the moon's surface, creating a 30-foot wide crater and a moonquake. The results recorded on the seismic sensors astonished NASA scientists.
When they saw them on the seismic record, it was ringing like a bell. It just wouldn't stop. This, of course, set off a search to try to find an explanation for what this big difference between what we see on Earth, where the earthquakes only last for a few minutes, and on the moon, where they go on for hours and hours. Scientists who were willing to think outside the box said, hey, that's hollow. We have a hollow moon. Once you go down the path of a hollow moon, everything is on the table.
So if the moon were hollow, what would that mean? Well, obviously it's not a naturally occurring phenomenon, so it's got to be artificial. Somebody put it there, someone built it.
Men in the moon. Theories about our moon being hollow have become common in science fiction stories, but don't fit with mainstream science.
The idea that the moon could be an artificial space station, how difficult it is just to get our space station up. Can you imagine putting something the size of the moon in orbit? I don't think so. It has a bigger story.
NASA scientists have theorized that the unexpected vibrations come from low levels of water in the moon's crust.
The Earth is a water-rich planet. We have water covering the surface, but there's also lots of water.
So now they're debunking it. They say that when the satellite hit the moon, it vibrated for a long period of time, and it rang like something hollow would ring. Like I said, if you hit a bell or a gong, something hollow, to make that noise. So there's that part. And I've heard that theory before, that the moon is not actually a natural occurrence, that someone put it there. That it was indeed actually put there to act as a... Quit turning my pages and wasting all my paper, please. Ma'am, can you stay where I put you? Here. Thank you. So there's that part. And that there is...
Okay.
And so there's that part. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. We would all have to, in order to actually debunk it, I would say that someone in modern day and time would have to go back. And I'll tell you what, Elon Musk is working on it. Girl, this is too much. Thank you. Where's mommy? And TT. Go find mommy and TT. Huh? You gonna be good? Because right now, you all over me, my nerves. With your pen. Or with my pen. So, y'all let me know what you think about that part. Y'all aren't. So, let's go on to... Because I think the Asian... Stop flipping pages. So in New Zealand, we have the Moon Woman. The Maori called the women in the moon, Rona. On a moonlit night, she was returning from a stream with a calabash full of water. The moon slipped behind a cloud for a moment, and in the darkness, Rona stumbled on the root of a tree. Angry, she cursed the moon. Moon, why would you not? Why would you? Moon, who would not stand for this abuse, swooped down on her and carried her off along with her water gourd and the tree that had tripped her. The Maori still see all three there today. So they feel like the patterns that, like some of us say, looks like a man on the moon, the craters that make the shadows on the moon. So some of those, so that's what the Maori believe that pattern is. They believe that in New Zealand, they believe that it's a woman and her water jug and the tree. Damn it. Do not put it in your mouth. Is that all? Girl, okay, no. I love you. Down. Go find mommy. I can't. You almost put my eye out. Mommy. Yes, go find mommy. I love you. Is this the only one you're going to give me, website? Mm-hmm. Excuse me, my page is taking forever to load. And on the laptop, they make it so much easier format for your phone. And my phone wants to be acting incredibly stupid. I couldn't even message earlier. I can barely type anything in. In Siberia, the moon craters are fang marks left by Aklaha, a monster with huge, impenetrably black wings. He's a personification of the darkness of the sky. It feeds on the moon every month, slowly nibbling at it until it disappears. But the moon does not agree with the monster, who vomits it back out into the sky, bit by bit, eventually recreating the full moon. So that's their explanation of the moon cycles. In Serbia, a folk tale about a wolf chasing a fox contains the oldest explanation for why we say the moon is made of cheese. The fox convinces the wolf that a better snack, a block of cheese, lies at the bottom of the pond. The wolf, not realizing it's just the moon's reflection, drinks and drinks from the pond, eventually bursting. Not those, the tiny ones.
Are these not yours?
No. I meant the small ones that I had.
These?
Oh, damn it. Yes, those. Thank you. I could not find this.
Oh, my phone been in here?
Yes. Your daughter.
So you turned off my alarm. That's why I was wondering. I was like, I looked, it was like 9:40.
I yelled. I said your alarm, but nobody heard me.
I don't think so. I was washing my hair.
Okay. So the fox can okay, wait, let me go back. The fox convinces the wolf that a better snack, a block of cheese, lies at the bottom of a pond. The wolf, not realizing it's just the moon's reflection, drinks from the pond, and eventually bursting. Ah. There we just talked about New Zealand. In North America, some Native American legends see the moon as a hostage. It is captured each night by a hostile tribe, and a pair of antelope is entrusted with rescuing it and handing it over to a good tribe. But the coyote gets there first, tossing, the moon into a river. In China, a woman, Shanjie, I've heard this one. There's a whole movie about this one. It's a cartoon movie. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I watched it, and it is very cute. A woman, Shanjie, once immortal being, was turned mortal along with her husband for bad behavior. Both try to get back into the gods' good graces by taking an elixir, but she drinks too much and ends up floating to the moon, making it her home. And she's up there and she's heartbroken. In Greenland, the Inuit believe that Anningan, the moon god, raped his sister, the sun goddess, and that every night he chases her to possess her again. Oh, that's gross. Anningan starves as he runs, getting smaller every night, then disappears to hunt before slowly coming back to his full self. In Africa, several indigenous peoples on the continent call their moon god Mewu, a companion of the sun goddess Lisa. When they finally meet and make love, we have an eclipse. Ooh. They've been getting their freak on a lot lately then. Okay. In Japan, why do Asians see a rabbit on the moon? Several countries, including the folk tale in the Japanese anthology Konjaku, I can't say that, Monogatari, my daughter could probably plop that right out. Kelsey. Monogatari, that's it, Monogatari, have this rough story. A fox, monkey, and a rabbit. This sounds like the beginning of a bad joke. Okay. Hey, Liz. A fox, a monkey, and a rabbit resolve to help a hungry old beggar on a full moon day. The monkey gathers tree nuts. The fox steals milk, but the rabbit, who can only gather grass, offers his own body, throwing himself into the man's hearth. Oh, he doesn't burn. The beggar is a god in disguise who rewards the rabbit by etching the act on the moon for all to see. Oh, I feel better about my spirit animal. My spirit animal is hare, rabbit, same family. That's awesome. Oh, go rabbit, go rabbit. I'm also yearning a rabbit. Go rabbit. Car, will you grab mine? I'm sorry, it should be in the hallway right there.
Oh, you said in the hallway.
No, I should have put it in the hallway. I didn't think about it. Thank you. I'm proud of the rabbit. Go rabbit. Go rabbit. Oh, I love it. And that's all the ones that are listed here. So I'm gonna stop there with the moon. Like I'm so proud. Oh, yay. Go rabbit. I'll do this later. I don't know what that is. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, if anybody's got any other thing to add or any questions that they want to ask, we're going to talk about, I want to word it right, so, because I'll get tongue-tied. So, really? You're going to tell me the site can't be reached? Okay. You could have some, Carl. My rice came out mushy, but I made vegetable rice. Because my vegetable didn't want to cook right. And I should have done it separate. I should have done it separate, then mix it, but I didn't. So, we're going to talk about the technical stuff having to do with the moon. So there are 8 total phases of the moon cycle, 4 primary and 4 secondary. The primary phases are the new moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter. The secondary phases are waxing, crescent, and waxing gibbous, waning crescent, and waning gibbous. The term waxing refers to a growing of the moon's image, while the term waning refers to a shrinking of the image. So waxing refers to the growing of the moon's image. So waxing is going to be moving from your, or I should say up to your full moon. Let me get it right. So let's explain. Let me just read it. The first moon phase of the synodic month is the new moon. This phase occurs when the moon is directly between the earth and the sun. When the moon is in this position, there is no sunlight reflected on the surface of the moon that is facing the earth. So halfway through the moon phase cycle is the full moon. Okay? This occurs when the moon is on the opposite side of the earth from the sun, directly opposite of the sun. During a full moon, the entire moon is visible from the earth because the sun is reflected on its surface. Quarters, the third and the seventh phases of the moon cycle are called the first and last quarters. Respectively, the first quarter occurs when the moon is 1/4 of the way through its cycle. This phase appears to have roughly 1/2 of the moon illuminated on the right side. The last quarter of the cycle occurs when the left side of the moon is illuminated. Crescent moons. The second 8 phases of the moon cycle are called crescents. These occur when the shadow of the earth leaves only a small portion of the moon visible on either side of the moon. A waxing crescent occurs when a small portion of the right side of the moon is visible from earth, and a waning crescent occurs when the left side of the moon is visible. Because the earth is round, the image created by its shadow creates a crescent shape on the moon. These crescent moons are visible for 7 days in the cycle, in between a quarter moon and a new moon. Why aren't you showing me? Why is it like that? I don't know why it's faded right there. The fourth and the sixth gibbous moons. The fourth and the sixth phases of the moon cycle are called gibbous moons. A gibbous moon is when most, but not all, of the moon is illuminated and visible from Earth. The waxing gibbous phase occurs when most of the moon is visible except a small portion on the left side. The waning gibbous phase occurs when most of the moon is visible except a small portion on the right side. Gibbous moon phases are present for several days in the cycle. Okay, so now you understand. If you did not before, now you know. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got anything to add? Okay. Okay, so um Moon myths and superstitions. The full number one. You know the number one. And this is from the History Channel, y'all. The moon makes you go crazy. Since ancient times, full moons have been associated with odd or insane behavior, including sleepwalking, suicide, illegal activity, fits of violence, and of course, transforming into werewolves. Oh! Indeed, the words lunacy and lunatic come from the Roman goddess of the moon, Luna, who was said to ride her silver chariot across the dark sky each night. For thousands of years, doctors and mental health professionals have believed in a strong connection between mania and the moon. Hippocrates, considered the father of modern medicine, wrote in the 5th century BC that one who is seized with terror, fright, and madness during the night is being visited by the goddess of the moon. In 18th century England, people on trial for murder could campaign for a lighter sentence on the grounds of lunacy if the crime occurred under a full moon. Meanwhile, psychiatric patients at London's Bethlehem Hospital were shackled and flogged as a preventive measure during certain lunar phases. Even today, despite studies discrediting this hypothesis, some people think the full moon makes everybody a little loony. I agree. And it also matters what house that moon is in. You got me messed up. I'm going to tell you a little story. When I worked for the Houston Astros, I came into work one night and it was the Aries full moon. And as I was coming into the building, it was like security barely had time to check us in. And we were like, what the heck is going on? And they were like, there's fighting. I was like, where? Fighting where? And they were like, everywhere. They were like, they had like 4 or 5 fights break out. And it was still early in the damn game. So they was like, what the hell? And I was like, between, opponents. And they were like, a couple of the fights were between rival fans, but there were fights between fans, our fans, the Astros fans, just between each other, not even rival fans, just fighting, period. So, I get upstairs and I'm cleaning up, and even the staff, they grab me, they're like, hey, something's going on. What is going on? Why is everybody so aggressive? And she was like, I know it's a full moon, but is that it? I was like, it's the full moon in Aries. And they were like, oh. And 2 of my girls, and it was in the HR office, and 2 of my girls knew. They were like, oh. And another girl was like, you mean the moons are different houses and phases? I was like, yes, they're each moon occurs in a house, just like you're born in a house. You're just like you're a Sagittarius, a Capricorn, a Pisces, or whatever. I said, when the moon moves, I was like, each month the full moon is in a different sign, and that energy resonates with that moon. And she was like, for real? I was like, yes. So tonight, God of War, planet of aggression, Mars, the full moon is in Aries. She was like, oh, they were like, so everybody angry, aggressive, and out there trying to beat each other's ass, fighting. And they were like, damn it. And they were like, I knew it was something. I couldn't wait for you to get here. I felt so important. I was like the team spiritual consultant. It was wonderful. Anyway, I miss my job. Have I said that lately? I think I have, and I'm going to continue to say that. I miss my job. I miss y'all. If any of y'all are watching. Anyway. Shut up, Tarot's Apprentice. Not to mention it's Texas. That didn't help. No, it does not help. It does not. There's a lot of different. And then there's so much there's so much diversity, and sometimes that's a good thing, and then sometimes it's not. It depends. So, so let's get on to the second one. The second one is, other than it, they think it makes you loony, lunatic, and all those words are derived from Luna. So, that was mine. It's going crazy, and I swear, lo and behold, I worked for Harris County Correctional Facility for a period of time, and every time there was a full moon, I'd come in the next morning and the guards would be like, "Man, last night, this and that and the third, yada yada yada, that damn full moon." And then they'd start talking about it. Brace yourselves, it's a full moon, it's a full moon, it's a full moon. So there's something to it. I don't care what you say. Because in a correctional facility, they don't know what's going on. They don't know it's a full moon unless they're told. Right? They can't even see the free world. There's not even any windows in that facility. None. No windows. So they cannot see out. They cannot see out. So they have no idea. They're just affected by the energies that be. So you can't convince me, I know. We know. Because, Lord, when the full moon in Pisces and Cancer rolled around, and we just had the new moon in Cancer. So that kind of, yeah. What's this one coming up? I just looked at it yesterday because I was reading, and now I can't. I'm blank. This is it. This is it coming. This is the new moon. This is the full moon in Pisces. That's coming up. So I mentioned it right in time. Let me look. I got a, whatchamacallit now. I got a moon phase calendar on my phone so it can remind me. Oh no, this one isn't, no, it's in Gemini. Wait a minute. No, I was right. Nope, this is Pisces. The full moon, the tropical zodiac sign is Pisces. Hold on, let me double check. So the new moon, the full moon coming up should be in Pisces. Like I said, Lord have mercy. Wait a minute. Let me look at this properly. No. Okay, I was right. It's in Cancer. It's in Cancer. I knew it was a water sign. It's in Cancer. Okay. I got a chart on my wall. It's in Cancer. So it's the full moon in Cancer. I knew it was a water sign, though. I just could barely see it from here. So it's still going to be, and it's on the 17th. It's on the 17th. So brace yourselves. We going to be emo. It's on the 17th. I'm going to be doing a read on that. That's going to be Sunday. Let me look at the calendar. Actually, I might go ahead and that's going to actually be the weekend read. That's actually going to be the weekend read, and I'm going to take it through Monday because that full moon is on Monday. So it's on Monday. So tomorrow, I'll be doing the full moon in Cancer read. What did she do to my pen? Oh. Okay. So, y'all give me 3 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so number 2 was that aliens inhabit the moon. So, excuse me. In 1820, the Bavarian astronomer Franz von Paula Gruithuisen, I'm German. I got to try to get that right. So, well, I speak German, so I got to try to get that right. Because they pronounce, in German, you pronounce every letter that you see. There's no, like, we have words and sounds that go together like sh. They don't do that over there. Every letter is pronounced. So, he claimed to have glimpsed entire cities on the moon with his telescope. He wrote that Lunarians who lived there had built sophisticated buildings, roads, and forts. Most of his colleagues scoffed at his assertion, but he eventually got a small lunar crater named after him. Sir William Herschel, a prominent British astronomer and composer, also thought aliens lived on the moon and made regular observations about the projects of their construction projects. In 1813, when the New York Sun published a series of fraudulent articles about the supposed existence of life on the moon, pulling off the so-called Great Moon hoax, it falsely accredited Herschel's son John, a famous astronomer in his own right, with the shocking discovery. So not only that, adding to that, like I said, there were said that it was said, like I said before, that when they landed on the moon, supposedly what had happened was, but they said that NASA covered it up and they didn't want anybody to know. That they went to that there was like, first of all, it was like a big gong sounding when the satellite hit the moon. Then, not only that, but there was like an alarm that went off. Like if something was about to, like an air raid sounding alarm. Like if you ever heard an air raid alarm for like if there was an invasion, or they use them a lot in the Midwest, or in the areas where they have like tornado warnings. And will go off. That's similar type of sound to that, like alerting something or someone that something had landed or someone had landed on the moon. So so they go to the other side of the moon, so they said, and that there was actually alien life on the other side of that moon. I don't know what the fuck happened from there on, but they were like, that basically they needed to, they left. They got the fuck out off the moon. And so we haven't been back since, which is a question as to why no one's been back since. And the convenient answer from NASA has been that it's too expensive. We definitely have the technology, because if we have the technology to put entire space stations up there, then we definitely, and design satellites to fly way out past Jupiter and Saturn taking pictures, then we can definitely put someone at least on the moon. It's not that far of a trajectory or travel. So that's one of the things that was said. But like I said, it is said that NASA didn't want anybody to know that. And of course, just like all other alien proof, they want to cover it up. They don't want us to know. They here. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it. And they've also had reports from other astronauts, as well as many, 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 many pilots, that say they've seen shit up there. And I know somebody. And I don't want to get that person in trouble, so I'm not even going to mention how that person is related to me. I know someone. And this person had top secret clearance. And I asked this person, he was like, you get one question. And I was like, damn. And I was like, are there aliens? And he said, hell yeah. And I left it at that. I left it at that. He was military. He had top secret clearance. He was like, you get one question. And I was like, okay. And that was my question. I was like, are there aliens? He said, hell yeah. And that was it. And if you can sit here and believe that between, I remember because my mom's obstetrician had one. That we went from a cell phone looking like it needed an entire damn near shoebox to function. A car phone back then, if you had a car phone, it was like a whole shoebox type. There was a whole case that went with it if you had a cell phone or a mobile phone back in the day. And that was the mid 80s. So you're going to tell me from the early 80s, early mid 80s, we went from a shoebox to communicate to a fully handheld functional computer. Anybody remember the green screen DOS computer that we first started learning on in elementary school? Now we have fully functional laptops that travel and we can communicate across the world. The first internet was used when banks decided that they needed, when the internet was created first off for the use of, for banks to use, to communicate and transfers of money and things back and forth. There's a movie with Whoopi Goldberg where they talk, what the fuck is the name of that movie? Where it's used. And somebody starts getting her messages to help do something or rescue somebody or save somebody or unmask some type of crime or some shit like that. I cannot think of the name of that damn movie. If anybody can, I gotta type. No, I'm not, y'all. I don't talk to my phone. My microphone is not on. I do not play. I don't fuck with Google Assistant. You won't catch Alexa or catch me talking to Siri or no fucking body. You got me fucked up. I don't even want one of them things in my house. Don't put that shit in my house. No, sir. No Echo, no Dot, nobody. Keep all that shit. No, absolutely not. I do not talk to my phone. I'll record and send you a message in Messenger, but that's about as good as it's getting, baby. All right. Let's see. I think it was Jumpin' Jack Flash. I think. Yeah, it's Jumpin' Jack Flash. It's a movie with Whoopi Goldberg, and it shows her use with the very first beginnings of internet communication because she worked at a bank in the movie, and she started getting communications about some other shit that she was asked to do and help or whatever. I don't remember, but it was a good movie. It was an old movie. Full moon plus water sign plus retrograde. Yeah, I can't. Right, Tarot's Apprentice. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. We got two. I don't know if you're aware, but we got not only but it's Pisces in retrograde, but we got Mercury in retrograde. Pisces is in retrograde till January 29th. So we got Mercury moving into full retrograde like now. And then like you said, we got on Monday, we got the Cancer full moon hitting. Water sign full moon, the moody. I love y'all Cancer. I don't mean to, but you know what it is. Y'all emo. The emoist of emo water signs to deal with. That energy throughout the moving up throughout the weekend and hitting actually the full moon actually on Monday. So with that Cancer. So it's gonna be a bumpy weekend. I'm I know I'm going to see somebody. Ooh, and he's a Cancer. Let's stay under the covers, y'all. Just be in the house. Just don't go out there. It's not going to be safe. Okay. All right. So it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty. Came out said I'm an air sign. It doesn't recognize retrograde, and it came in and throat punched me. How you going to be an air sign and not recognize Mercury? Moving forward. All right. So those of you who, not only that, but I know Virgo is ruled by hold on, my phone is dying. I know Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And I want to say yep, Gemini and Virgo. ruled by Mercury. I was about to say, came out while you talking shit. So Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury. And that's what I was about to say. How you going to not acknowledge Mercury when that's still in retrograde? That's your sign. Moving forward. So the third one is that the moon controls fertility. Perhaps because the menstrual and lunar cycles are similar in length, many early civilizations believed that the moon determined when a woman could become pregnant. This is explained by why female moon deities from the Chinese goddess Shangye to Mamaquila of the Incas figure so prominently, and Diana and Demeter, and we could go on. We could just, moon goddess, the moon is always a female. The moon is always a female. In the so that's why the moon, full moon goddess is female prominently in mythologies from around the world. In the 1950s, the Czech doctor, Czechoslovakian doctor, Czech is short for Czech, Eugene Jonas, stumbled across an ancient Assyrian astrological text stating that women are fertile during certain phases of the moon. He based an entire family planning method on this hypothesis, telling his patients that they ovulate when the moon was in the same position as when they were born. Ooh. Okay. According to another, I was trying to think about how that would resonate monthly. Anyway, according to another theory that persists to this day, full moons cause an uptick in births, flooding maternity wards with mothers-to-be in labor, which is true. Recent studies have turned up little statistical evidence, okay, so they say, for moon-induced baby booms. However, and most experts think any lunar effect on procreation is imagined. Okay? Of course. Everybody wants to discredit everything. Here we go. The moon is a hollow spacecraft. Several science fiction books of the early 20th century, including H.G. Wells' The First Men in the Moon, take place within a hollow moon inhabited by aliens. In 1970, two Soviet scientists took this seemingly whimsical premise a step further, proposing that the moon is actually a shell-like alien spacecraft built by extraterrestrials with superior technology and intelligence. According to astronomers, the moon, though admittedly enigmatic as far as celestial bodies go, couldn't maintain its mass and gravitational field if it lacked a dense core. Number 5, we never really went to the moon. Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, some people believe that the Apollo moon landings were faked by NASA, which used doctored photos, staged videos, and other ploys to dupe the public. Proponents of these hoax claims argue that technology was not advanced enough for astronauts to reach the moon and return home safely. They also point to ostensible signs of studio trickery, including the fact that the American flag was planted by the Apollo 11 crew and the lunar surface appeared to flutter in the vacuum of space. In 2002, retired astronaut Buzz Aldrin, who became the second person to walk on the moon in 1969, grew so exasperated with one conspiracy theorist's accusations that he punched him in the face. The septuagenarian space pioneer was not prosecuted. The Nazis had a base on the moon. Number 6, after World War II, rumors circulated that German astronauts traveled to the moon and established a top secret facility there. Some even speculated that God damn it, where'd that come from? Excuse me. Adolf Hitler faked his own death fled to the planet and lived out the rest of his days in an underground lunar hideout. Now, now, now. I don't know about fleeing to the moon and living there, but I did hear that he was abducted and taken away after having faked his death. That one I did hear. I don't know. I didn't hear about him ending up on living it out on the moon, but I did hear that aliens took him and some of his peoples away after everything popped off and went down. That faked the death. Okay, so connections were also drawn between flying saucer sightings, including the famous incident near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947 with the Nazis' alleged UFO development program. These theories form the basis of the science fiction novel Rocket Ship Galileo, published by Robert A. Heinlein in 1947. You need PJs? I got it. That's my pile of chunky laundry.
So I said he was okay if he came and got her.
She's going tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You getting up early?
For me?
Him?
Yeah, he got up early.
Okay.
And he asked, I was like, yeah, I'm still trying to get her to eat something.
Did she eat any?
She had a few bites of the rice, but then I went ahead and cooked something else. She ate half of that. And I gave her 2 little yogurt packets. So she should be okay.
Okay, that sounds like a good. And she did eat about a biscuit.
A biscuit, okay.
Coming to steal from me, yes. She ate about a biscuit and.
Cause I didn't find no biscuit residue
She ate a
in
couple
my
of half,
room.
so she ate it because she was talking to me. Her little mouth was full of biscuit. So yeah, she ate it. Okay. All right. The next one is, I don't see how. What would it breathe? A rabbit dwells on the moon. Intriguingly, legends from various traditions around the world, including Buddhism and Native American folklore, recount the tale of a rabbit that lives on the moon. This shared myth may reflect common interpretations of markings on the lunar surface, an alternate take on the fabled man in the moon. Shortly before Apollo 11 landed on the moon in 1969, Mission Control in Houston jokingly referred to the Chinese version of the story, telling the spaceship's crew along the large headlines concerning Apollo this morning, there's one asking that you watch for a lovely girl with a big rabbit. Command Module Pilot Michael Collins replied, okay, we'll keep a close eye out for the bunny girl. Oh. And there you have it. Those are common myths. Let's go for superstitions specifically. Let's see if there's any moon superstitions. Really? What is this happening? No, I don't want. I don't want a specific moon either. I'm not really getting like. Okay, let's see what this article says because I know they're pretty decent. Where is it? No, this is the same thing. The only one is the moon will keep you from sleeping. Um. Okay, let's check this one out. A list of lunar deities. Okay, we've got a book from the Dinka religion, the goddess of fertility, mortality, creativity, and love. Meshimi, the Kushite, protective goddess and wife of Apedemach, the lion god. She was represented with a crown shaped as a falcon or with a crescent moon on her head, on top of which a falcon was standing. Excuse me. Gleti from the Dahomey was practiced by the Fon people of the Dahomey Kingdom. The kingdom existed until 1998, and in what is now the country of Benin, people taken from Dahomey to the Caribbean use elements of the religion to form voodoo and other religions of the Afrocentric Caribbean diaspora. The Maui, Dahomean, the Dahomean religion was practiced by the Fon people. Oh, same one, Mawu. Okay, so they're the same. Aya, IAH. The Egyptian mythology is a collection of myths from around ancient Egypt, which describe the actions of the Egyptian gods and means of understanding the world around them. Beliefs that these myths express an important part of. They're not going into her story. They're just talking about it in general. Khonshu, the and then the Zulu tribe believed that Inyanga was from the Zulu tribe, the goddess of the moon. Her Uggies are up there too. The god Khonshu, the god of the moon. A story tells that Ra, the sun god, had forbidden Nut, the sky goddess, to give. I know how to pronounce all these. I know. To give birth on any of the 360 days of the calendar. In order to help her give birth to her children, Thoth, the god of wisdom, played against Khonshu.
You said Thoth?
Thoth, yes. The god of wisdom played against Khonshu in the game of Senet. Khonshu lost to Thoth, and then he gave away enough moonlight to create 5 additional days so Nut could give birth to her 5 children. It was said that before losing the moonlight was on par with the sunlight. Before losing the moonlight was on par with the sunlight. Sometimes Khonshu depicted a hawk is depicted as a hawk-headed god. However, he is mostly depicted as a young man with a side lock of hair. Like a young Egyptian, he was also the god of time. And the center of his cult was at Thebes, which was where he took place in a triad with Amun and Mut. Khonshu was also heavily associated with Thoth, who also took part in the measurement of time and the moon. Come give me some sugar, Chunk. Come give me some sugar and say bye-bye.
Please. You're touching too much stuff. You're touching too much stuff.
You touching too much. Mommy said you do too much. Say bye-bye. Stop going, my daddy. Say bye-bye. You're not going to say bye-bye? Give me some sugar. Give me a kiss. Give you smiling. Give me a kiss. You showing off. Give me some sugar. Give me some. Give me some sugars. You got your zipper? Give me no. Girl. Mwah. Bye. Say bye-bye. Good girl. Night-night. Bye-bye. Love you. Be a good girl. See, so I'm going with Daddy. I don't have to. All right. All right. So, Thoth. Again, Egyptian, god of wisdom, the arts, science, and judgment. All right. Now, see, in Europe, we have Ironrod. I've heard that. Welsh. Then we have Artemis, of course. Greek. Artemis is the ancient Greek goddess of the hunt, wilderness, wild animals, chastity, and the moon. She is the daughter of Zeus and Leto and the twin sister of Apollo. She would eventually be extensively syncretized with the Roman goddess Diana, and Cynthia was originally an epithet of the Greek goddess Artemis, who according to legend was born on Mount Cynthius. Selene, the Greek god of personification of the moon, and the Roman Diana were also sometimes called Cynthia. Okay. Artemis was Etruscan. Compromises a set of stories, beliefs, and religious practices of civilization heavily influenced by mythology of ancient Greece, sharing similarities with Diana and Artemis. Okay. Ategina, Lusitanian, which is linked to Celtic and Portugal. Also known as Salema. I know someone with that name. Okay. Bendice, Thracian. Which is same, closely linked to Greek, Roman, European. Diana, Roman. We know that. Equated with the god Artemis and all that good stuff. We know that. Including Artemis mythology and early Roman history, including birth on the island of Delos to parents Jupiter and Latona and twin brother Apollo. Apollo was my high school mascot. Sharpstown High School, go Mighty Apollos. All right. Eletha, Irish. Eletha was the king of Fomorians in Irish mythology. He succeeded his father, so he's a guy. Succeeded his father, Delbais, and was replaced by his son, Brace, mother by Eru. Hecate, now I've definitely heard of her, Greek, associated with the moon. Hecate is not actually considered a goddess of the moon, but a goddess ruled by the moon. Okay. Horus in Slavic, Hejuku and Bill in Norse, Lagargi in Basque, Ku in Finnish, Losna in Etruscan, Luna again in Roman, Mano, Sami. In Mano, it's there by the Sami. Mani in Norse, Menes, Latvian. Phoebe in Greek, Selene in Greek, and the triple goddess in Wicca. Okay. Then they go into some of the other ones. They go into Chandra or Soma in Hinduism. and Hurricane, Kushu, Goddess Eladari, and Eurasian. Chinese, you got Ji Lin, Shanji, Shanjie, Tai Yin Jing Zun. The rabbit is Tu Yer, and Wugang is the immortal that lives on the moon. In Indonesia, you got Raif, Silewe, and Nazarete. In Japanese, you got Tsukuyomi, Korean, Myeongguo, Marie, TOZ, in Marie mythology. In the Philippines, you got Kabigat Bulan. In Australia, you got Bahul. You have several because you have indigenous peoples, Kedili and Gnalindi. Aztec, I can't say that. Metzi, Tekiz, Tekiztaki, Tekiztekati, Tekiztekati. Huh. Got that one. Mayol, I can't say that. Wait, Koyol. There's an X. I don't know how to say that. I have no clue. I'm not. If I can't, then it ain't. Because I'm pretty damn good. Not to blow my horn, but God is Kaya Tikila, and Inca, Mama Kila, and Koniraya. Inuit, Alignat, Igalut, Tarquip, Anua. Connie, God Pa, that makes sense. Musica, Mythology, Huikata, and Chia. And Voodoo, we got Kalfu. Okay. I'm sure there's more. But there's a lot of different, no, these are listing stories. All right. That's a lot. So I didn't, like I said, really see any individual superstitions. What time we got? 10:54. That's not bad. But the moon is a feminine symbol, universally representing the rhythm of time as it embodies the cycle. The phases of the moon symbolize immortality and eternity, enlightenment, or the dark side of nature of oneself. So the supermoons occur when the moon is at the moon phases where the moon is the closest to the earth. And it's said to cause more stress and anxiety. That's the supermoon. Now, the blood moon usually occurs when there's an eclipse. So during such an eclipse, the full moon moves into the shadow of the earth cast by the sun and is momentarily darkened. Some sunlight still reaches the moon and reflects back a red color, a dark red glow. For many ancient civilizations, the blood moon came with an evil intent. The ancient Inca people interpreted the deep red coloring as a jaguar attacking and eating the moon. Um, then the they believed that the jaguar might then turn its attention to the earth. So people would shout and shake their spears and make their dogs bark and howl, hoping that it would make enough noise to drive the jaguar away. Oh, that's why they're howling at the moon. Got it. In ancient Mesopotamia, lunar eclipse was considered a direct assault on the king. Given their ability to predict an eclipse with reasonable accuracy, they would put in place a proxy king for its duration. Some considered to be expendable. It was not a popular job and would pose as the monarch, while the real king would go into hiding and wait for the eclipse to pass. The proxy king would then conveniently disappear, and the old king would be reinstated. In Hindu folktales, the lunar eclipse is as a result of the demon Rahu drinking the elixir of immortality. Twin deities, the sun and the moon, promptly decapitating Rahu, but having consumed the elixir, Rahu's head remains immortal, seeking revenge. Rahu's head chases the sun and the moon to devour them. If he catches them, we have an eclipse. Rahu swallows the moon, which appears out of his severed neck. For many, which reappears out of his severed neck. For many people in India, lunar eclipse bears ill fortune. Food and water are covered and cleansed. Rituals performed. Pregnant women, especially, should not eat or carry out household work in order to protect their unborn children. Damn, so you can't eat? A friendlier face, but not all eclipse myths are based on such malevolence. The Native American Hupa and Luciano tribes from California believed that the moon was wounded or ill, and after the eclipse, the moon would then need healing, either by the moon's wives or by tribesmen. The Luciano, for example, would sing and chant healing songs toward the darkened moon. Altogether more uplifting is the legend of Maliba people in Togo, in Benin, Africa. Traditionally, they view a lunar eclipse as a conflict between the sun and the moon, a conflict that the people must encourage them to resolve. It's therefore time for old feuds to be laid to rest, and a practice that has remained until this day. Oh, I like that. In Islamic culture, the eclipses tend to be interpreted without superstition. In Islam, the sun and moon represent deep respect for Allah. So during an eclipse, special prayers are chanted, including the Salat al-Kusuf prayer on a lunar eclipse. It both asks Allah forgiveness and reaffirms Allah's greatness. Oh. A misleading story. Returning once more to blood, Christianity has equated lunar eclipses with the wrath of God and often associates them with the crucifixion of Jesus. It is notable that Easter is the first Sunday after the first full moon of spring, ensuring that an eclipse can never fall on an Easter Sunday, a potential mark of Judgment Day. Indeed, the term blood moon was popularized in 2013 following the release of the book Four Blood Moons by Christian minister John Hagee. He promotes an apocalyptic belief known as the Blood Moon Prophecy, highlighting a lunar sequence of 4 total eclipses that occurred in 2014-2015. Hagee notes that all 4 fell on Jewish holidays, which has only happened 3 times before, each apparently marked by bad events. The prophecy was dismissed by Mike Moore, the General Secretary of Christian Witness to Israel, in 2014, but the term is still regularly used by the media and has become a worrying synonym for lunar eclipse. Given the enduring superstition, it is profoundly unhelpful for science communicators trying to remind everyone that the so-called blood moon is nothing to be feared. It may be impressive and may be the longest for a century, but it is simply just an eclipse. Okay, so that's superstitions from the blood moon. Okay. All right. There are actually new moon superstitions. It is lucky to expose your newborn. Okay, here's some superstitions. Good and bad luck. When the full moon means good luck. It is lucky to expose your newborn to the waxing moon. It will give the baby strength. It is also lucky to move into a new house during the new moon. Prosperity will increase as the moon waxes. It is lucky to see the first sliver of a new moon clear of the brush or unencumbered by foliage. Ever wonder why people keep rabbit feet? It is lucky, especially if the rabbit was killed in a cemetery by a cross-eyed person at the dark of the moon. What? Where they do that at? It's lucky to hold a moonstone in your mouth at the full moon. It will reveal the future. It is lucky to have a full moon on the moon day, on Monday. Also, we're lucky. There we go. We're going to hold out hope. It may be double retrograde, and we may be in full moon in Cancer, but it's on a Monday, so that's good luck. How about that? It said, beware though, the full moon can bring bad luck too. It is unlucky to have a full moon on Sunday. It is unlucky to see the first sliver of a new moon through a window. You'll break a dish. I'll take that risk. It is certainly lucky to sleep in the moonlight, or worse, be born in the moonlight. Oh, you shouldn't be born in the moonlight? It is unlucky to point at the new moon or view any moon over your shoulder. It is unlucky to see the old moon in the arms of the new or faint image of the full moon disk while the crescent moon is illuminated, especially if you're a sailor. Storms are predicted. Oh, to where you can barely see. I get that. Okay. Though nobody can be sure of when a baby will be born, some moon lords suggest that births are more likely to occur 7 days before or 7 days after a full moon. In fact, many cultures believe that the full moon's pull on a woman's amniotic fluid increases the chance of her giving birth at this time. Some nurses and midwives claim that the new moon is also an attractive time for births. According to folklore, babies born the day after the full moon enjoy success and endurance. I wonder what cycle the moon was in. It should tell me. I have to look. Okay, does the full moon affect relationships and marriage? As the moon as the moon regulates water, it's an age-old belief that it also regulates the rise and fall of our emotional tides. According to some lords, the full moon is an ideal time to accept a proposal of marriage, as love is amplified. This certainly does not mean that marriages do not happen on full moon nights, that marriages that do not happen on full moon nights are not successful. See, that's what if I do marry again, it'll be on a full moon. I'm going to set my date on a full moon. Furthermore, the moon is the best time to consummate the marriage. According to ancient Greeks, while the new moon is the best time to drain out stale energy and belief systems. The new moon phase is also the best one for breaking up. Oh, according to folklore, if a young woman sees a dove and glimpses the new moon at the same instant, she should repeat, bright moon, clear moon, bright and flare, lift your right foot, there'll be a hair. When she removes her shoes, she'll find a hair the color of her future husband's. Okay, that was interesting. What else they got? I think that's it. Let me go back up. Hold on. They had a couple more articles. Yep, I did that one. All right, that was from the Almanac page, y'all. That was from almanac.com if you want to check out more about that. All right, anybody got any last comments? Can anybody think of anything else they wanted to know? They wanted to ask? They wanted to... Anybody? Anybody? Hey, Peter, how you doing? So, did anybody have anything? Nobody had anything to add, anything to say? Did anything that I said shocked you? I know the thing about the full moon being hollow, that was a thing for me. When I first heard about that, it's 11:11 on the time clock, y'all, Eastern Standard Time, and I have chills. Okay. I know that the full moon ringing like a gong was the thing to me. And to hear Buzz Aldrin say, no, you didn't watch it on TV, I was like, where? I was like, excuse me, what did he say? What the who? So, there's that. All right, y'all. Well, this one has been about the moon. I hope I covered anything that anybody would have wanted to know. We're going to do Ask MissNJoy next. So, y'all just, I'm not even going to go anywhere. I'm just going to log off and log back on. So, anybody that wants to be in the open chat, then I'll be there. All right. I love you guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It was a cute one. It was a cute one, y'all. Pay Reverend, don't forget, pay Reverend, see you moon. Like I said, right on time, we'll have the full moon read coming up tomorrow, which the next full moon in Cancer is on Monday. All right, love you guys. Ask MissNJoy in a few seconds.